Welcome to Take a Look, a show that brings you closer to the people, places, and perspectives shaping our world. I'm Isra Fayzullah, and in this episode, we'll be exploring the vibrant football fan culture in Qatar. Coming up next, we visit the Jassim bin Hamad Stadium to get a first-hand matchday experience. Talk to football crazy fans who will go to the ends of the earth for their teams, and speak to a professional footballer to get his perspective. Many believe that Qatar lacks a proper football fan base because stadiums here sometimes have empty seats. The Qatar Stars League's average attendance of about 1,000 is significantly lower than any other major domestic competition all around the world. But fan culture here is unique, rich, and deeply rooted in community traditions. Dima Suleiti found out how supporters enjoy the game in different ways.
Fans from young to old flock to support their favorite teams. The Jassim bin Hamad Stadium, home of Al Sadd, Qatar's most successful football club. Founded in 1969, Al Sadd has won Qatar's top flight league 17 times, over twice more than any other team. They have close to 50 other trophies in their cabinet, including 2 from continental tournaments. Naturally, they have attracted a large fan base over the years. We went to experience the stadium atmosphere on a match day.
Kickoff is now just a few minutes away, and as you can see behind me, the stands are starting to fill. That section over there is full of members of Al Sadd's official supporters club, which is the first of its kind in the country when it was founded over 2 decades ago. It's still going strong to this day with some of its most loyal members supporting the team week in and week out.
On the big occasions, fans unfurl big banners, known as tifos, in the stands. They show off messages supporting their players and reminding them of the prestige of the badge they wear. Ahead of match day, we spoke to Yusuf Abdel Fattah, the manager of a prominent football social media account, Qatar Ballers.
I feel like tifos in football is very important. You see a lot of tifos happening around the world, and not just in Qatar, but in Europe as well, being used as a kind of a political expression or just bringing more enthusiasm to the game itself. And again, kind of gives that more excitement for the fans and for the players themselves. I'm pretty sure when the players see tifos happening and they see the flares happening all around the stadium, it kind of gives them that more energy to perform better inside the stadium. Tifos are usually organized by ultras, which are kind of the leaders of the fan culture inside the club itself, or the club itself picks people just to run how things would be inside the stadium.
We also spoke to a Saddawi, the term Al Sadd fans use to describe themselves. He told us exactly how fans like him support their club.
من وقت ما جيت على الدوحة أتابع السد، صار لي 4 شهور كل مباراة تكون بملعب جاسم بن حمد متابعها.
The fans certainly put on a show as they cheered and chanted throughout the 90 minutes. But this time, the team just about fell short and succumbed to a narrow 1-0 defeat. Nothing an impartial journalist would lose sleep over. Dima Suleiti, Take a Look, Qatar.
Football has been played professionally in Qatar for over 70 years. So some of the biggest teams, such as Al Sadd, Al Rayyan, and Al Arabi, have big fan bases. Professional players like Ghanem Al Suleiti, a Qatari midfielder playing for Al Arabi, see and understand the impact of the country's fan culture better than anyone else. I sat down with him to get his perspective both as a football fan and player. Hello and welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So let's start off with, tell us a little bit about yourself and your love for football.
Well, I started playing football at the age of 4. My dad got me into it, and surprisingly at first I didn't like it. I didn't want to leave my house, I didn't want to go to training. I just felt like, I didn't enjoy it. But after a while I started realizing I was actually good at it, so it grew on me.
As a football player, how does fan attendance in stadiums affect your performance?
Personally, having fans at the stadium physically motivates me. It gives me a reason to play better, for the fans, because they went all the way there to the stadium. They bought tickets. They're sitting there, spending their time. So I have to give them what they want.
Do you feel that support from the fan base when you're playing in a stadium for Al Arabi?
As a player, yes, I do feel it, but not in the stadium. I noticed, there are fans in the stadium, yes, but there are a lot of empty seats as well. when I played my debut, my first match, and I scored the goal, you know, there weren't that many fans in the stadium, but after the game I got a lot of support, you know, I got a lot of phone calls, I got a lot of people congratulating me, and yeah, I felt supported even though like the fans weren't physically there.
What are some other ways people here in Qatar support their teams?
I understand that some people don't like going to the games, you know, physically. They do, they watch the games, they host like Majlis watch parties, you know. They invite their friends and we just watch the games together. I actually sometimes enjoy it more than going to the stadium. You know, I like the privacy. I like being in the comfort of my own home, being able to do what I want without having eyes on me, you know.
That's very interesting. And you're Mexican Qatari, so what are some parallels or differences you can draw between the different fan cultures in both countries?
I think in Mexico, they like to actually physically be there. They like to support their team. And I feel like football there is a bigger part in their life than here in Qatar. I have actually visited Pachuca against Al Ahly. It was actually here, hosted here. It was the Club World Cup. And honestly, the Mexico fans were supporting the team. Like, they were very passionate about it.
And if there would be one thing you would change about fan culture in Qatar, what would it be?
Mostly the fans attending the games, you know, actually being there for the players, for the team. Me personally, I like it when I see fans sitting in the stadium and watching us play and like cheering us on. I feel motivated, you know. It gives me a drive to do better.
All right, Ghanim, thank you so much for sitting down with us and sharing your perspective. From the somewhat subdued passion of Majlis watch parties to the loudness of loyal match-going fans, the Qatar football fan culture is as diverse as its people. Clearly, love for the game is not just found in stadium attendance figures, as it also lives in the hearts and homes of football fans across the country. And that's all we have time for on this episode of Take a Look. Until next time, goodbye.